Nearly 1 million people have come into this country under the Albanese government. 1 million people. That's right. We used to complain when there were, 100,000 so-and-so. In 1 month alone, 125,000 migrants coming into this country. Where are the hospitals? Where are the homes? Where are the roads? Where's the public transport we were talking about? No, Adam Bant, not everybody can fly around in a private jet like you can. 1 million extra bodies on the streets of our major cities, costing you jobs, costing the economy. This is the new Labor policy. Flood it with people who they hope will then vote for them. It's the same stuff going on as in America, James.
Well, this is really, really sinister here. I mean, we talk about a housing crisis, we talk about inflation, we talk about household incomes going backwards, and this is because Labor has decided to pursue a big Australia policy. You remember they had a big summit on this last year where they stacked the whole thing full of big Australia pro-open borders type of people. And what have we got? Well, we've got, sticky inflation, we've got housing prices that are through the roof. Young people can't get a place because they're competing with 4.5 people for every new dwelling that's built in this country. So we're never going to build out of it. And they want to go, essentially, this is a big sop to the property developers who all want to go and steamroll suburbs to put up Soviet-style high-rises across Sydney and Melbourne and cities across the country to house all of these new people. But, there's just simply not the room. And in the meantime, our GDP per person is going backwards. We are in a per capita recession. Household incomes 100%. Are going backwards, and it's all being hidden by the sugar hit of Labor's big Australian migration policy.
And the ideology, Rita, the idiocy and the incompetence of Labor never ceases to amaze me. They've mucked up the detainee visas again, so 149 people. They got that all wrong. Rita?
Well, yes, it's nothing to worry about. We're only talking about murderers, rapists, child abusers. I mean, it's the worst of the worst, and it's becoming abundantly clear if you go through this, is that they either were so inept that they botched the case, or they just deliberately wanted that, because they really gave the High Court no option when they go in there and say, well, there is no plan, that there is no chance of this particular criminal getting out of detention. So it put the High Court in a very... they really do not have too many options. So at that point, you would think they would at least come up with a plan B. No, they had to get bullied into that by Peter Dutton. And now they have that emergency legislation in place, but they're not using it.
Because they're incompetent. Let's have a look at Labor blaming everyone other than themselves, the classic Labor ploy. Have a look.
This issue was a technical issue.
A technical legal issue in an Australian law that had been passed by the Parliament in 2013.
This is a technical issue that goes back to 2013.
This is an issue that had been on the books for more than a decade, since 2013, throughout, indeed, the former government's time.
This is a technical issue. We've got a technical issue, guys. We've got a technical issue. Yeah, not our fault, nothing to do with us. At least we got some common sense from Peter Dutton. Have a listen.
It didn't occur under a coalition government. This happened under a Labor government. Let's be very clear about it. The red herring that they've thrown out there is not factually correct. And Minister Giles and others shouldn't be in their jobs. How the Prime Minister can keep Minister Giles in his job when he's released 149 hardcore criminals into the community on the wrong visas is beyond the average Australian's comprehension.
I mean, number one, we know that being tough on borders is not Labor's DNA. But the other thing, too, remember this about Adam Giles. When the Australian government solicitor was coming in to meet with his office to give advice about this NZYQ case that has set off this disaster, he was off campaigning for The Voice, which tells you where their priorities are.
And he has spoken about the reason he entered politics was because of the advocacy of the Tampa incident. So that's his ideology. It's no secret where he stands, and it should come as no surprise that this area is a mess. Both those ministers are not fit for those ministries. They're important ministries. And if
but
Albanese...
then again, who in that Labor coalition is, in my opinion, incompetence, the lot of them.